All right, what's your name, please? I can't understand anybody today. Can you say that a little louder, please? You're Mr. Love, correct? Thank you. All right, APA King, we're ready on Mr. Love. Are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'll have the prosecutor's argument for bond first. I'll give you a chance to respond. This is case number 210. I'm sorry, defense counsel's argument for bond first. I'll give you an opportunity to respond. This is case number 210-586-6101. People State of Michigan versus Gerard Elihu Love. Counsel.
Yes, good morning.
Are you ready?
Larry King for the people, B78774.
Thank you. Okay, I don't have Mr. Perkins here. Hold on. And then I've got another attorney entering the room. 1 moment. Gosh. Can somebody get in touch with Perkins and ask him to call in? Thank you. Hi, which case are you here on, Mr. Bassan? Hello? Attorney Bassan? I don't have any audio. Hi, what case are you here on, please, Mr. Bassan? Mr. Bassan, what case are you here on, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm here on a Austin Riley. If he, I know the warrant was issued today. He's
on the list. He is on the list. I'll get him as soon as we can. On Mr. Love, I guess we're going to have to wait a minute for Attorney Perkins to dial in. I don't have defense counsel here. Is someone contacting them? Do you know? Thank you. We'll have to push him back for a minute, please. Yeah. And then you are here on Mr. Riley. If we can get Mr. Riley whenever we can, that would be great.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, I don't know. They're just telling me I might not have the file yet. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Don't you get attorneys talking?
They're ready to go on Love. Where's his attorney?
Yep.
Okay, DDC, I guess if you've got Mr. Riley, we'll go to Mr. Riley. If not, we'll take whoever we've got.
Riley.
I don't have a file on Riley. Oh, never mind. I don't have the file. I don't have a file on Riley. We'll just keep going down the list, I guess, because I don't have that file yet.
Okay, Your Honor, just give me the ones that you do have ready so I can
All right, what I've got is I've got Brendan Winuk, WNUK. I've got Eric Wright. I've got Corey Hill, Ramonde Cole, Sammy Sims, Muhammad Ayoun.
Winuk was released yesterday, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And all these people,
What did he say? Mr. Stabline, who are you here on, please?
I am here for Sammy Sims.
Thank you. Okay. Is that person on the list, Andy Sims?
I just heard him say
All right,
it.
they are on the list. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take that off.
Hi, what's your name, please?
Corey Hill.
Okay, Mr. Hill. This is case number 210-447-6501, People of the State of Michigan versus Corey Hill, counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. In terms of danger to the community, this is charged as a misdemeanor. I've not been given any information that would cause me to believe there is an overall danger to the community here. Does your client have residency here?
He does, Your Honor.
Thank you. Then I don't think he's a flight risk. I'm setting a personal bond in the amount of $10,000. There is to be no contact with Nakia Cunningham. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact with that individual will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. Next court date will be June 30th, 2021 in front of Judge Garrett. Thank you.
You all set.
Come on, brother man. Where'd you at?
Sims, please, y'all.
Dan? Dan. Hold on, Dan. Now, right back line, Sims. Keep that mask and nose him off at all times. Say your name, brother.
These the new ones on the.
Sammy Lee Sims Jr.
Thank you. This is case number 210-586-6401, People of the State of Michigan versus Sammy Lee Sims Jr. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paul Stablin appearing on behalf and with Mr. Sims. We're appearing via Zoom. That's with his consent.
Thank you. And are you waiving
we waive-
formal reading and standing
Yeah.
client mute?
Yes,
Thank
Judge,
you.
waive formal
Would you
reading
state
of
your
the-
P number just for the clerk's benefit, please?
Yes, it's P42544.
Thank you. Please proceed with your bond argument.
Thank you, Judge. In regard, actually, I haven't been made aware. I have a good idea as to what the charges are. I haven't been made aware of the exact charges. I can indicate to the court that I met with Mr. Sims last night at the detention center. I've spoken to his mother a number of times since yesterday. Mr. Sims, Judge, in trying to understand any of his prior convictions for anything, it doesn't appear that he's had any convictions in the last 20 years. And this incident, I believe, arose out of an argument that he had with his the mother of his daughter, who was living with him at the time. His daughter was living with him at the time. He's been cooperative with the police, Your Honor. He's got great family support. He lives at the address where this incident occurred, and I'm asking the court to consider a personal bond.
I got it. Okay, thank you. One moment, please. I am. I don't know what else to say, except I am. Thank you. One moment, please.
Judge, he's also employed with Revere Plastics. He's currently laid off because of the pandemic and receiving unemployment.
All right, thank you.
I made a suggestion to help, and I said, combine these up to where you have this P number.
So, I mean, any bond that I give is going to include a no contact order. How's he going to do that? Do they live together?
They do not, Judge. I'm assuming that the no contact order is going to refer to Tamika Jones.
Yes.
Yes, Judge. They do not live together and have not.
All right. So I'll tell you, this is my concern. I mean, we've got an allegation involving the discharge of firearms in a domestic type situation. I have the complainant purportedly calling her mother on the phone to tell her what's going on. Mother says she can hear him in the background threatening to shoot the complainant. That she then went to the house, confronted him about his threat. He came onto the porch with a gun. They started arguing. She says he pulls the gun, fires shots in the air over her head. She tries to pepper spray him. Then she gets off the porch. And then apparently he goes in, gets a different firearm, begins to fire more shots into the air. She calls 911. The police get there. They recover multiple firearms, multiple bullets. You know, this is very, very concerning given the fact, especially that it occurred allegedly June 8th, meaning there's been zero cooling off period here if these are to be believed. And I do give it some credibility given that the complainant's mother says she came over because she overheard his threats to shoot the complainant after the complainant had called her. So I'm not going to give a personal bond in this case because I do think there is a real risk to the complainant here if he's released. Given that this was witnessed or overheard by another party and that the firearms and bullets were recovered. I'm going to set a bond in this case in the amount, this is going to be $100,000, 10%. It's $100,000, 10%. Of course, he's not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond. If he's able to make the bond, the next court date is going to be on June the 23rd in front of Judge King. After that, there's a preliminary examination scheduled for June the 30th. During the course of the bond, he's not to have any contact or attempted contact with Tamika Jones. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact with third parties or social media. Any attempt at contacting her will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. In addition, if he is able to make the bond because of the nature of these allegations and because I want to make sure that he stays away from the complainant, I am going to require him to wear a GPS tether. All right. Thank you.
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well said, Mr. Sims. I'm going to contact your mother, okay?
Is this Mr. Do I have Mr. Okay. I am ready on Riley now if you happen to have him available. I'm ready on Mr. Riley. Hi, what's your name, please? What's your name, please? Sir, what is your name?
Mohammed Ayun.
Thank you. This is case number 210-586-6501, People of the State of Michigan versus Mohammed Ayun. Counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived, enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that these are non-assaultive allegations. There are no prior convictions in front of me, assaultive or otherwise, that would indicate a danger to the community. Is your client a resident of the area? Very good, then I don't think he's a flight risk. I'm setting bond in the amount of $2,500 personal, $2,500 personal bond. Next court date is going to be June the 30th in front of Judge Jones. Thank you.
You all set? Yeah.
So what was that?
You'll get everything when you leave it. Come on, man. Riley.
Riley?
Say your name.
Austin Riley.
Thank you. This is case number 210-586-6602, People State Admission versus Austin Riley. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Kevin Basant, 71061 on behalf of Mr. Austin Riley. Your Honor, for arraignment purposes, Mr. Riley stands mute and waive a formal reading.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Your argument is to bond, please.
Judge, Mr. Riley has no criminal history whatsoever. My argument would be that this is technically a non-assaultive crime. I believe count 2 might be officer resisting arrest. But Judge, Mr. Riley he's not a safety risk, he's not a flight risk. He would appear at all he's retained counsel. Judge, I would ask the court to consider a personal bond in this matter.
Thank you. The allegations here are all non-assaultive. There is a charge of R&O, but that does have more to do with resisting than any kind of assaultive contact. So I don't think there's a danger to the community here. Sounds like he's got good community ties. He's taking steps to engage to resolve the case. I don't think he's going anywhere. $10,000 personal bond, $10,000 personal bond. Next court date is going to be June 30th in front of Judge Archer. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Hi, what's your name, please? All right, Ramonde Coles. This is case number 210-586-6301. People versus Ramonde Coles. Counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this is non-assaultive allegations. There's no prior convictions in front of me. I see no danger to the community. Is your client a resident? Thank you. Next court date is going to be September 27th in front of Judge McConico. After that, October 4th in front of Judge Jefferson. This is going to be a $1,500 personal bond. So you're not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond. Thank you. Hi, what's your name, please? Can you repeat that, please? Mr. Wright. Okay. This is case number 210-447-6601, People State of Michigan versus Eric Aaron Wright. Counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this is charged as a misdemeanor, and I have no information that would tell me that Mr. Wright is an overall danger to the community. Is he a resident of the area? Thank you. $10,000 personal bond because I do not deem him to be a flight risk. There is to be no contact with Michael Benrow. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contacting that individual will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. Next court date will be July the 2nd, 2021 in front of Judge Bryant. Thank you.
Don't worry, you'll get him. Yes.
Kayla Owens, Montenay, Jessica. I've got Thomas Ford here. Campbell, Thomas Ford, Yard Love. Hi, what's your name, please?
My name's Thomas Ford.
All right, Mr. Ford. Somebody's told me something about Ford. Yeah, no, I received a communication about Mr. Ford. Okay, case number 210-447-6701, People versus Thomas Ford. Counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this is charged as a misdemeanor. I don't have any information in front of me that causes me concern. Does Mr. Ford have any other ongoing matters with this complainant, Ms. Miller? Would you voir dire him, please?
Mr. Ford, this is your attorney speaking. Do you have any pending cases with Ms. Tracy Miller?
Besides this one?
Excuse me.
Mr. Ford, this is your attorney speaking. Do you have any other cases pending with Ms. Tracy Miller other than this one?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, this is charged as a misdemeanor. I am noting that. I'm not aware of any other information that would pose an overall danger to the community. Is your client a resident of the area? All right, thank you. Given that information, I don't think he's a flight risk. I will include a no contact order. Bond is set in this case in the amount of $10,000 personal. There is to be no contact with the complainant. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contacting that individual will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. All right, next court date is going to be June 30th. June 30th in front, well, wait a minute. Why do I only have a money date here? I need a personal bond date, please. June 30th, it's still June 30th. Can somebody look at this, please, and tell me when my next court date is? It's just marked for money on the front, but here I've got June 30th in the first box. Is that going to be my next court date?
It's the personal date, June 30th.
Oh, well, that has the money on it. Okay, all right. June 30th, 2021, thank you. June 30th, 2021, oh, in front of Judge Garrett, okay? No contact with Tracy Miller, no attempted contact. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, what's your name, please? What's your name, sir?
I think that's Mr. Bibbs.
Mr. Bibbs. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bibbs. All right. This is case number 210586601, People State of Michigan versus Raven Bibbs, counsel. Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that all of these allegations are non-assaultive. I don't see a danger to the community here. Is your client a resident?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm setting bond in the amount of $10,000 personal. I do not see a flight risk here. $10,000 personal. Next court date on this one is going to be June 30th in front of Judge Archer. Thank you. Yes, I guess we're ready on Mr. Campbell. I've not received any more information about whatever people are telling me about the file. I don't know. I know, but we were going to arraign him before and someone said there's something going on with his file. Okay, so we're ready to go then. Okay, very good.
Campbell. Yeah.
Wait, I still don't have Mr. Perkins on Mr. Love. What am I supposed to do about that? Okay, case number 210586591, People versus Keith Campbell. Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Counsel?
On behalf of Mr. Campbell, we constitutional resident.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that these are all non-assaultive allegations. I don't see a danger to the community here. Is he a resident of the area?
Yes,
Thank you. I'm setting bond in the amount of $10,000 personal, $10,000 personal. Next court date is going to be July the 2nd in front of Judge King. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I don't really know what to do about Love. I'm gonna hop over to the, can we hop over to the female side and do them while I wait for the attorney on Love? Do you have staff to do that?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, we're waiting for you guys in felony arraignments on Gerard Love, period. We've moved over to the female side. We're just waiting to do Mr. Love when you guys join us.
Our office spoke to Mr. Perkins, we'll be dialing in. We did make contact with him.
Okay, we'll start with the women. Okay. All right, BBC, I'm here on the female side. We can go with whomever you have ready first. Hi, what's your name, please? Smith. All right, thank you. Ms. Anglin Smith, this is case number 2105-865-001, People of the State of Michigan versus Montague Anglin Smith, counsel.
On behalf of the defendant, Ms. England Smith, who is formal reading understands her constitutional rights and stands here.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived. Interest and not guilty plea on your client's behalf. This is a non-assaultive allegation, and there are no priors in front of me, assaultive or otherwise, such that I would think there's a danger to the community. Is your client a resident of the area? Very good, then I don't think she's a flight risk. I'm setting a personal bond in the amount of $1,500. The next court date will be September the 27th in front of Chief Judge McConico. After that, October the 4th in front of Judge King. Ma'am, you're not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond. Thank you. No, I don't know how to see which one I clicked on.
Okay.
View stream.
I keep getting, yeah, thank you for checking.
Yeah, Kim said the same thing. I'm like, I'm on.
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry, next court date is going to be September 27th in front of Judge McConico. After that, October 4th in front of Judge King. Thank you.
And now it's 1,500 personal?
Yes, 1,500 for personal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, what's your name, please, ma'am?
Jessica Mitchell.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. This is case number 210-586-5601, People of the State of Michigan versus Jessica Mitchell. Counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Do you have an argument as to bond?
29 resident of Detroit, is unemployed, is not on probation or parole, and is her son. Your Honor has no priors. These are allegations. I would ask the court to consider it.
Thank you. All right, I've got no priors here. I don't think there's an overall danger to the community. This was a dispute between two people where a knife was apparently produced. Someone sustained a cut, it looks like, but I don't see an overall danger to the community here. Is your client a resident of the area? I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, and I would like to bring the court's attention to my client's lawyer.
Thank you. Yes, I can read that it was a mutual kind of engagement. I'm setting a personal bond in the amount of $100,000. You don't have to pay today to get out of jail, ma'am, but I am attaching that number because if you violate my no contact order, it will come into play. There is to be no contact with the complainant. Bianca Champion, and that means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt to even contact her will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. and could trigger the monetary amount that I've attached to what is now a personal bond. Next court date is going to be June the 30th in front of Judge Jefferson. You're not to purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond. Thank you. All right, I guess this is going to be Ms. Owens. Thank you. What's your name, ma'am? Thank you. Case number 210-586-6701, People of the State of Michigan versus Michaela Lachey Owens, counsel.
On behalf of the Owens, who is formal reading, understands her constitutional rights and stands.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Give an argument as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 20 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit. To my knowledge, she has no prior criminal convictions. She's a high school grad, not on probation or parole. Doesn't have a 1-year-old daughter who she lives with, and she also lives with her father, Your Honor. She's got great family ties, community ties. She is employed at some salon and 7 miles. She's been there, Your Honor. I understand these are very serious charges. However, they are allegations, and my client has no priors. So I am respectfully asking the court to consider reasonable bond here.
Thank you, counsel. This case involves the allegation that the defendant fired a gun into an occupied vehicle, a vehicle occupied by 3 people, one of them being hit in the head with a bullet and now on a ventilator at the hospital. She was identified by the complainants as being the person who fired the shots into the vehicle, apparently with no other motive than dispute over parking space. That presents an extreme danger to the community. I'm setting bond in this case in the amount of $350,000 cash. Next court date is going to be June 22nd in front of Judge Jones. After that, she has the right certainly to a preliminary examination. That will take place on June 29th in front of Judge Jones. If she's able to make the bond, there is to be no contact with Pierre Tyler, Nadia Smith, or Andre Jones. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. Thank you. We're going to go back over to the male side now. I don't know if you guys want to try to reach Mr. Perkins again, but I have to move on. This is the only case on the docket. The prosecutor has been here for an hour now waiting. We need to finish. Here we go. Thank you. All right. All right, we're ready on Gerard Love. Mr. Perkins, we're getting Mr. Love back up here.
Pardon, Your Honor?
We're getting Mr. Love back up here on camera.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Hi, what's your name, please, sir? Over at DDC, what's your name? All right, Mr. Love, this is case number 210-586-6101, People of the State of Michigan versus Gerard Elihu Love, counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Larry King for the people, P78774.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, and good afternoon to your staff. May it please this honorable court. My name is Todd Russell Perkins, P55623. I'm standing in for, I believe to be the attorney of record, Mr. Nasser, who's from we're in the same firm. But I would stand in for him for the purposes of this arraignment. I waive any formal reading of the warrant and complaint. I stand, Mr. Love, respectfully ask the court to enter not guilty plea.
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. You have an argument as to bond.
As to bond, Your Honor, Mr. Love has been not only we've represented him in some other matters, but also civil matters and business matters over the past 10, 12 years. He's an individual that will follow the instructions of the court. He's an individual that adheres to the guidance and not guidance, but orders of the court. So I'm asking, Your Honor, I understand the seriousness of this offense. It's my understanding from having talked to Mr. Reagan, who did interview Mr. Love, This is related to a domestic relationship. So, Your Honor, besides the no contact issue, I would ask the court for a recognizance bond in this matter. I don't know the severity of the of any other issues that might be presented by counsel, but I'd ask the court for a recognizance bond and a no contact order for Mr. Love with the alleged complainant.
All right, thank you. APA King, any response?
Yeah, respectfully, Your Honor, the allegations in this case are quite serious. This occurred in broad daylight on the I-90 freeway. It's alleged the defendant attempted to use a vehicle being driven by the complainant, grabbed the wheel and attempted to ram the vehicle into a barrier at the freeway. There was also additional assault. Prior to that assault, it was alleged that he had used a weapon to forcibly remove her from an apartment and hold her in fear. That's the unlawful imprisonment count. These are incredibly serious offenses. I believe there's a strong likelihood of conviction given the fact that this occurred in public in broad daylight and there are multiple eyewitnesses. The defendant has a severe criminal record, including multiple prior convictions, including convictions for weapons, and a weapon was allegedly used in this case. Based on the severe nature of the offenses, people have a strong concern for the safety of the victim. Based on the specific allegations of this occurring on the freeway, we have a strong concern for the safety of the public at large. So for those reasons, Your Honor, the people would ask for a high cash bond, $500,000 cash. If he were to be released on bond, the people would request a GPS tether with house arrest.
Thank you. All right. Yes, you may. Go ahead.
You know, when we're talking about a $500,000 for the circumstances that he alleged, you know, I ask you, who's being reasonable? So, you know, take what you like from that. My argument, perhaps he's not entitled to a personal bond, but, you know, $500,000 is just is unpalpable. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that you could even take seriously at this point. And given in a pandemic era and an individual who can be tethered and have a no contact provision, he's not alleging any failure to be at court. He's not even alleging any failure to abuse the orders of the court as it relates to him pending any other cases. So if the court orders him to do something, he understands the orders of the court. He understands the direction of his counsel. So I'd ask the court to consider that in setting a bond. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate your arguments. Here's my concern. He is listed as a habitual fourth with a mandatory 25-year minimum that he's facing. More than that, what really concerns me, I will tell you, is not just the allegations contained here, which is that he took the wheel and kind of tried to ram it into something that would have been deadly while traveling on the highway, but that, as APA King is stating, apparently there is a written statement from a witness saying he observed someone he believed, a witness, a black male, so consistent with the allegations here, on East 94, continued to slam a black female on the ground. She started yelling for help. He then called the police as she ran back and forth across the freeway. He continued to grab her, stated, "Stay the F away," to him, to the witness who tried to intervene and help, stated to the witness, "Stay the fuck away, that's my girl, don't touch her," grabbed her by her neck multiple times, stated she was pregnant while doing all this. And she's begging the witness not to let her leave with him, according to the witness. So I'm not just taking a police statement, I'm saying there's a witness here who this is the statement of the witness that they are transcribing. And while I understand you're saying he does follow orders of the court, you know, everyone knows that kind of behavior is not something that's lawful. And my concern is not so much whether he'll reappear, but the extreme danger I think is posed to the complainant if we have a person who is assaulting her in broad daylight in front of a witness who's trying to intervene and is not allowed to even to intervene to provide any assistance to the complainant. So I am setting a cash bond for that reason. I think the complainant may be in extreme danger if Mr. Love is released. The allegations are so blatant, and there's a witness purportedly having witnessed it who's writing a written statement, signing a written statement, and ready to testify, that I'm just very, very concerned about the safety of the complainant to the extent that I think I must set up a cash bond in this case. I'm setting bond in the amount of $200,000 cash. This is a $200,000 cash bond. I understand that you may not think that's reasonable. Of course, it can be appealed. I'm taking into accountability to pay, quite frankly, because I think that if he's out, the complainant is in danger. I am going to require a tether if he's able to get out, because I think we need to make sure that he stays away from her, and that if he does try to go near her, that we know about it. I am including a no contact order. That no contact order, of course, with Dejanay Jones means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt to even contact her will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. $200,000 cash. The next court date is going to be June 21st in front of Judge Jones. After that, June 28th, both in front of Judge Jones. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
No, I said thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Good.